So today I want to talk about a mistake I made early on, which I thought was like a huge productivity hack and wound up being very, not client-centered, but really client hostile. And this is my brilliant plan to make it so that I didn't have to answer the phone all the time. I don't like answering the phone because it's an interruption in my work. And so like if I'm sitting there focused, working on a brief, or now, working on code or a presentation or something, the phone rings, it breaks my concentration, and I'm crabby and I pick up the phone. And even if it's somebody who wants to hire me and pay me money, I'll be kind of crabby about it. So I had this brilliant plan, and here was my brilliant plan, is I was only going to return phone calls twice a day. And I think it was 10 and 2 or 10 and 3 o'clock. And so what I did was at all other times I let the answering machine pick up the phone, and I had a message that said, thank you for calling the Glover Law Firm. I return phone calls at 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock every day. Please leave your name, phone number, and email address, and I'll get back to you at one of those times, or something along those lines. I think I put an autoresponder in my email at some point as well, which was like I only return emails at 10 and 3 every day. So it's kind of like the bifecta, duofecta, difecta. So if you called me or emailed me, you'd get this response, and then I would get back to you at 10 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and I'd sit down and I'd plow through everything in my queue, which was really nice from a productivity standpoint. But think about how you feel when you get that email. And I know this because since then, and part of the reason I want to do this video is that since then, occasionally, I'll get an auto response from a lawyer that says something along those lines. I'm trying to batch my emails for greater productivity or something, and it feels like shit. I hate it when I email somebody and I'm like, I have something important I need to talk to you about. And they get back to me with, sorry, you're not important enough for me to pay attention to. And it's worse than them just not answering the email right away, because it feels like they're putting me off, right? They're scheduling time for me when it's convenient for them, and it's definitely not important enough. So I hate that, and I feel some responsibility for that, so I want to clear that up and talk about that, because it's really not the right way to do it. It's actually kind of hostile, right? We want to be thinking about serving our clients and our potential clients, because you want to put that best foot forward and make a good first impression. We want to be thinking about serving our clients in a way that makes them feel good about working with us. And the way to do that is, if you just answer your email and your phone calls at 10 and 3 every day, that's fine, but don't tell people that you're pushing them off. That's sort of the equivalent of saying, wait, Mr. Glover will be with you shortly, and they have to sit in your waiting area and read bar magazines for a half an hour while they can hear you talking to your staff in the back room about something. Whether or not that is an important thing, it makes them feel unimportant. And pushing off your emails or your phone calls in that way is kind of the same thing. So by all means, answer your phone calls at 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock every day, but skip the part where you tell people that they're not important enough for you to respond to right away. Or better yet, and this is what I eventually did, hire somebody to answer your phone for you. Hire somebody who can be cheerful and on every time they pick up the phone, and have them answer the phone so that there is somebody there for your callers to connect with at that moment. Or have somebody even answer your emails if that's something you need help with. Hire somebody who can be the cheerful, helpful voice on the other end of the phone or on the other end of the keyboard when you need one. It can be a virtual receptionist, and there are lots of options in our virtual receptionist portal on our website if you're curious about who to work with. Or it can be a local contractor who can answer your phone from their house, or who sits in your office. But it doesn't have to be somebody who sits in your office, obviously. The technology that we have these days means that just about anybody can answer any phone from anywhere. And so take advantage of that. When I made that switch, when I hired somebody to answer the phones for me, her name was Erica. She was awesome. And what would happen is, instead of me feeling like my day was interrupted, clients or potential clients absolutely not getting the best version of me, what happened instead of that is they got Erica, who I had hired after she worked for a large law firm in Minneapolis, and she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but she wanted to keep her skills up, and she believed she had a lot to offer, and boy did she. She was fantastic. So I set her up with a VoIP phone that she could answer in her home, and she would block off time, when her kids weren't going to be interrupting, and she would answer the phone, and she was cheerful and helpful, and she was smart and competent, so she could handle the intake process for me. So she was able to do much more than just answer the phone, and I would regularly hear from people, like Erica would connect them to me, or we would have a conversation later, and they would say, boy, I really enjoyed talking to Erica. I'd love to meet her while I'm in your office, because she was fantastic, which is a fundamentally different experience than I'll get to your phone call when it's convenient for me at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And so I would urge you not to answer your phone in that way, but instead to think about how you can do that in a way that is a better experience for the potential clients, for opposing counsel who call you. Be deliberate about giving them your best instead of just giving them your time when it's convenient for you. Thanks for watching. Tune into the next Lawyerist Lens next week, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel while you're at it.